Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Climb the Heights. I want to tell you a story today. It occurred when I was the general manager of KCMI radio station in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It was a winter of record-breaking snowfall, the kind that turns the landscape into a scene straight out of a postcard. The KCMI tower stood sentinel atop a lofty ridge in the Wildcat Hills, its silhouette stark against the snow-laden sky. Reaching it was no small feat. The journey began at an old cattle gate and wound along a narrow, rutted path that twisted its way around the hillside. Just a quarter of a mile detour from the main highway, but it felt a world away. Back at the station in town, all was serene until the unthinkable happened. The airwaves went eerily silent. A quick check confirmed the worst. The transmitter had failed. But what was the root of the issue? Was it a power company problem or something amiss with the transmitter itself? There was only one way to find out. With no time to waste, I climbed into our faithful old four-wheel drive Chevy pickup. Oh, it was a relic donated to the station for precisely such emergencies. The truck had a story of its own. Its lack of a catalytic converter wasn't just an odd quirk. It was a necessity. The station's land lease mandated it. Any vehicle braving the fragile prairie grasses risked starting a fire if equipped with one. And so this truck had become the station's unofficial hero, tasked with battling the elements to keep the tower operational. Well, it was a grueling 10-mile trek through the blizzard to reach the cattle gate, and from there, the climb began. The narrow path snaked upward, but the snow had other plans. Drifts piled deep, rendering the trail impassable even for our trusty truck. The engine groaned in protest as the wheels spun helplessly. The realization hit me hard. The hill had won this round. When left with no alternatives, I called in reinforcements. One of our advertisers, Selly's Cycle Center, stepped up to the plate. A snowmobile seemed like the perfect solution, and soon I was meeting our friends at the base of the hill. Together, we embarked on what we hoped would be the last leg of this adventure. The snowmobile handled the powdery terrain like a champ, until it didn't. The final stretch loomed ahead, steep and unforgiving, a white wall daring us to continue. Even the snowmobile faltered. Determined not to be bested, I resorted literally to crawling on hands and knees through 2 feet of snow, inching my way upward. My fingers grew numb, and the biting wind stole my breath, but I pressed on. Finally, the terrain relented, and I stumbled to my feet, trudging the last few yards to the transmitter building. Inside the shelter of icy walls, I assessed the damage, my breath visible in the freezing air. With some adjustments and a silent prayer, I restored the transmitter, sending our signal back into the ether. The silence was broken. We were back on the air. Hallelujah. That day taught me more than I ever wanted to know about perseverance. It also prompted me to invest in a pair of snowshoes, vowing never to face such a task unprepared again. But those snowshoes have gathered 25 years of dust on a shelf, never seeing an inch of snow. Serving as a quiet reminder, though, of that snowy adventure and as proof that sometimes sheer determination trumps even the best laid plans.